Hey guys, Kid Guru here for the Tech World, and today I have a review of the iMo pivot monitor by the guys that get obviously iMo. This is a 7-inch sub monitor, and again the keyword is sub monitor. It's not really used for huge extended display tasks. You won't do obviously all of that because it has a small screen real estate. It's more meant for sub applications like your MSN, your Skype windows, your IM chats, your calendars. You can have email up here, music list, all that stuff you really don't want to minimize, and you really don't need a huge 15-inch display for it. This 7-inch display will cut back obviously a little bit in pricing, and it's just something really handy to have just because it's obviously a sub monitor and it's portable. So that's another thing if you want to take it on the go. Really nice. It has a lot of different portability modes you can take it in. I'm trying to show a little bit. So again, it's a 7-inch display, and you can see here it's a 360 pivot, and these in the back here has the specs, which I'll read off. It's a 800 by 480 TFT 7-inch display, and again 800 by 480 is the resolution. Brightness 250 CD. It has a 500:1 contrast ratio, and as you can see here, it's USB 2.0 speed, sub monitor by USB connection. Brightness controls extended 4 directions, screen rotation clockwise, all that stuff, and yeah, so it's really cool because again the 360 pivot, so you can use it in multiple ways. It has mirror functioning if you want to do mirror, or if you want to do extended display, you can do that as well. It plugs in via a USB mini 5-pin, which I'll show you here, and goes into a USB 2.0. Now the interesting thing is here you plug using the main USB 2.0, though if your computer is an old computer, and this varies. I mean, this really, I haven't really seen people who have this problem, but if your USB ports or your computer doesn't support enough power to power the monitor, like maybe you only have 1.0 ports, then you can use 2 of these USB connections to provide enough power to the iMo. But that's an unusual case nowadays. So, looking at a closer in-depth look, you can see it's very sleek, very nice and glossy. You can see from the reflection. Again, I mentioned the 360 pivot, so you can go into vertical. You can rearrange it, rotating however you want. As you can see there, the reflection of my other monitor that's in vertical. Right here on the back, you have your brightness controls, brightness down, brightness up, on-off switch, so that's very nice, not really a button, just a switch. Now, you also have a bar stand thing here, where I will show you. You also have your mount right here. Now, the bar stand is very simple. You can just screw it in, and this comes with obviously the iMo. And you just once it gets screwed in here, you can disattach the mount, which is kind of hard to get off, but not really. There you go. And what's interesting, you can just leave it kind of like a photo frame, so a side angle there. And the interesting about this, it's really sturdy. It won't tip over. If you push it, just kind of push it back. It won't really tip over, depending. Even if this is on a glass desk, but if you're on a shelf or anything like that, really sturdy, kind of like a photo frame leaning on its little stand here, and it's metal, so it really stays in place. And of course, the actual mount itself has rubber ends, so it'll keep it in place as well. So depending on however mode you want to use it, you can use it in multiple ways. And of course, without the bar stand, you have your simple monitor, pretty thin here. And you can take this on the go, pack this into a bag or anything like that, especially for laptops if you want to have some extra stuff as a workspace. And then you can just simply click it back in when you want to mount it again. Very nice display. Going over some pros and cons before I actually show you the monitor. As you can see here, it is 360, which is really nice, but one con is that it kind of gets annoying. You hear that material kind of squeak all over the place when you're turning it. I mean, I'm sure that varies with what product you get, if the plastic or, whatever. Kind of annoying, but you deal with it, and usually you're not rotating. Hopefully, you're not rotating it too much that gets too much of an annoying factor. But again, back to the pros. It's 360 display. 360 rotation. It's pretty good resolution, and it handles video and stuff well. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how it works on Mac OS X and various Windows versions. Though the drivers, I believe, on the CDs do need updates, so that's another con. You probably have to go on their manufacturer's website and download some updated drivers depending on what operating system you're on. So with that, we're going to go ahead and cut to the demonstration of the monitor. Alright guys, so here we are with the actual iMo, closer look at it, and now we're going to plug it in. So again, like I mentioned, one USB powers all, and I have it hooked up here to my Vista laptop. You can't see it's on the side here, but I'm going to be dragging some windows over. We're going to be using it in extended display mode. Now, once you download the drivers that come with the the iMo, which could be a pain depending on what operating system you're on. Sometimes you need to go on the manufacturer's website to get the updates. But you should, once you get the display link software running, just plug it in. And route the wire however you want. Your screen will flicker. And then you may have to do, like, depending if you want to go in mirror mode or extended display. In this case, we're going extended display. So, and now the display is detected. As you see here, you can have a separate wallpaper on the screen if you'd like. Now you can see it's pretty small, but it does look pretty nice, and I can adjust the brightness as I mentioned before. I can lower it all the way, or I can turn it all the way to full brightness, which is actually pretty bright. What's nice about it, it has vents on the back. Doesn't really get overheated much. Stays pretty cool because it is a small monitor. And for some examples here, I'm going to show you some things you can drag over. You can, like I said, easily drag over windows, as you see here. I'm trying to pull it over here. It's kind of hard if you're coming from a big monitor, but a photo frame type thing, if you want to use that, you can put a slideshow on here. You can see the photos look really nice, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and focus more on the monitor so you guys can see this. So let me go into my focus settings and then focus in here so you guys can see that better. See, the quality is actually pretty decent. Again, like I said, if you want to use email is another great thing, something that you really don't want to minimize. You just want to keep running up. I'm going to drag the email, Thunderbird. We got Thunderbird over here running. And of course, you can make it more minimalistic, depending on how you want to use it. So for example, if I was reading this email right here, you could easily see the email, and then you could you would have to kind of tinker your app around to kind of show exactly how you would want to fit it. Maybe something like IMing would be a little bit easier than a whole full-on email client, but it could be done. Another one of my favorites, which is actually another really good use for it, is videos. For example, I'm going to drag this Chrome window over here running a video from John for Lakers, and as you can see here, it works out pretty well. Hang on, let me actually resize the window so it looks actually even. You can get the full. You can always do the pop-out. YouTube is now doing pop-out player, so that's always an option as well. So you can see the video plays fine here, and I can scroll down so you guys can see the full video. There's not a lot of movement as of yet, but you can see the video plays fine. Really, no jittery lag. Everything is loading fine. And I guess this isn't the best because he's not really moving around. But I can even good thing is you can even full screen it. Or there's your error. So that's one of the errors I had, was full screening the video. It's actually funny because it was working earlier, but anyways. So I guess that's a little problem with YouTube. I guess that could be dealt with Flash, but as well as the monitor. But if you're not watching in full screen, Flash should be fine. So there you go. There's another con for you guys, the full screen feature. And I guess I'm gonna actually keep that in just so you guys can see one of the faults to the monitor. But normal video plays fine. Maybe you won't have that full screen problem. Who knows? And yeah, so it has a lot of uses. You can get really creative. I've seen people use Rainmeter, a desktop customization app, on the monitor to run multiple widgets. You can run, like I said, IM clients, MSN, Skype. Really great for those. If you want to put a video call in the corner, it even works. The form factor, like I said, is really thin. You can see from the quality of the build. Really nice monitor, really glossy, really nice display. Overall, the other con is the price. It runs you about $120, where this is something that more and more people are getting into, these sub monitors type things. But the thing is, if you want spend $119, you can probably get yourself a 15-20 inch screen, or not even 19-inch LCD screen. If that, if that's really what you're looking for, if you're going to spend that much money. Though some people are wanting a portable monitor, even if they're going to pay $119, they don't want like a big monitor taking space on their desk, so they buy these things. Another good thing about these, again, they're all USB powered, so you can plug multiple of them into a desk, or multiple of them into a computer, and run, have 3 or 4 of them on your desk. Another pro, like I mentioned, they're cross-platform, works, I believe, I'm not sure on Linux, but Mac, Windows, I'm sure there's a way to get it to run on Linux. There is some driver issues is one of the cons. Again, the video full screen feature, as you just saw earlier. The material is pretty decent, though you do get that creak, like I mentioned earlier, if you heard that. Other than that, the iMo pivot is really cool just because it's a pivotal, 360 display where you can, use it in any orientation that you really want to, whatever, type of way you want to rotate the screen. You can change in your operating system settings. Overall, it's a decent monitor, very nice build, glossy display, something I'll be using. Overall, it'll get a 3.5 out of 5 stars on the Tech World rating. So look for the full review over at the new blog at ttw.dunksweb.com. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions or concerns, go ahead and email me at adrianstech@gmail.com. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe.